Well guys, we made it, man. We're here at my dad's shop. We're about to jump right into this. So I'm gonna give you some part numbers. There's only one rear rotor and two front rotors. So if you check out my short video I put out just a few hours ago, dropping back and punt, then you'll know why I'm only doing 3 of the wheels versus all 4. Now, with that being said, let's go over these part numbers, and then you can kind of see the variety of tools I got here. Brake part cleaners, some lights, torque wrench, jack stands. You always work on your car with jack stands. As a matter of fact, one of my subscribers, Dustbat, homeboy, good looking out, man. He saw that I had my truck jacked up and he thought that it was all the way up and I was working on it. The fact of the matter is when it comes to jack stands, man, I use them every time. I do not trust that hydraulic jack. If it gives out and you're beating on things, man, you're in trouble. So always be safe, use your jack stands. Here's some part numbers and we're gonna jump right into it. So here's the rear pads, 17-898. The rear rotor, AR8752SCR. The front rotor, AR8750SCR. And then last but not least, the front pads, 17-1084. They're all Power Stop products. This is their Evolution Plus pads, ceramic pads. And then this is the Power Stop non-slotted and drilled rotors. So jumping right into this, like we do it. So man, I was looking at these rotors, they look good. Now I know they'll turn front rotors. I just don't know why they won't turn the back. Oh, I still believe it was an excuse as why they wouldn't turn the back one. But that one's in such bad shape, there's no point. So I'm gonna keep these and go have them turned and just have an extra set of front rotors. Now I wanted to get with y'all. Y'all know that when I do my brakes, I love my C-clamp. I use my C-clamp to compress my calipers. Well, man, I ran off and left it. So the other way we can do it, you get a light in here. You have to make sure you're on the other side of the pad. You don't want to be prying just on your piston. And then you got to do both sides. So you get in here, pull it, jump to the bottom, do the same thing. You want them pistons to collapse the same. And you want to do it while it's still bolted up. And that ought to do it right there. So once I get them off, I should be good to go, get my new pads on there. So believe it or not, these pin bolts right here are a half inch, man. I believe on the back they're like a 12 millimeter or a 13, but they're half inch right here. So we're gonna rip this off. We're gonna get all this stuff off. I'm gonna show you behind the rotor that there's no washers behind the rotor. We're also gonna get into that topic today too. So let me get this out of the way and then we'll jump into something else. Okay guys, so moving forward, man, these are 13/16 just like the back for your actual caliper mounting. And just to give y'all a heads up, these are short-winded. Look at them little things. And then also, one more thing is that I didn't get my caliper pushed in all the way. Before anybody asks if my calipers are still good, I used this pair of channel locks right here, man, just like this. We opened them up, I opened them up, and then I just barely did like that, and you see it moving. I don't know if you can see it moving on the camera, but that lets me know them pistons in there are still sliding back and forth correctly, which is a good thing. That's what we're looking for. So let me break these. I'm gonna break these loose, which I imagine they're probably pretty tight. Nah, not too bad. And then we're gonna get the bottom one. So I'm gonna pull these pads out of here, and then we're gonna pull these, we're gonna try to get these slide pins out if we can. And I mean, well, they actually slide pretty good. I don't know if I'm gonna mess with them or not. They don't feel sticky. So we might just leave them in there. We'll see, we'll see. So let me get this ripped off of here, man. Ooh, that one was good. Just like so. Y'all just stick with me here, man. We gotta get all this stuff cleaned up, get it going, man. We're going with a whole new setup. Oh, there goes that one. By now you see that this is moving. It's also a good thing, man. I know a lot of you guys up north deal with a lot of rust, and I'm fortunate. I'm down south down here. I don't have to deal with that. But if you do, PB Blaster is your best friend. So that looks like it's in pretty good shape. Let me see about getting these apart and pulling them out. We're gonna clean them up and grease them. So I got me a little wire wheel, man. I cleaned up my hub right here. There's no washers. There was no washers behind it, man. There's not gonna be. And I'll show you on the other side. I didn't take the rotor off and show y'all when I took the rotor off. So when I get to the other side, I'll show you so you know that there's no washers behind it. So I cleaned everything up. Let's get back to that. So I cleaned everything up. The pads weren't in bad shape. So I got lucky, man. I can save that rotor. And I cleaned all this up. Now your pins, check it out, man. You just pull them back and they'll slide right off. See, that one was good. This one was already starting to rust. So I'm gonna clean them up. And I can't get anything in here. I don't have anything anyways. Probably a pipe cleaner or something like that would probably work because it's not an all the way through hole. So I just kind of cleaned the front of it out right here. And then I got me an air gun. Now watch the stuff that comes out of it. And then that should be good. I'm gonna use this little abrasion pad. I'm gonna wipe this off. I'm gonna scuff it up, make it nice and shiny. Both of them, re-grease them. I got me some super lube, multi-purpose synthetic grease. And then we're gonna put it back together, man. We're gonna go back with it and then we'll start on the other side. Man, I just told y'all that I didn't have a way to clean this out. You could probably use a pipe cleaner. They probably make a little thing. But then my dad shows up. He goes over to his bench, comes out. We got a rag and it's like a piece of 1/4-inch tubing, right? So what a sweet deal. You know that's about a 3/8, 1/2-inch hole. Man, it fits perfect. It fits perfect. So we're just gonna do that. I can get in there, give it a few good twists. And then, voila, man, we got them good and cleaned out. I'll blow them out again. Make sure to clean your ridge right here because you want this to pop back in there. And while we're at it, man, I took my little abrasion pad here. Look at how nice these come out. Where'd the other one go? Now there's no more rust on them. Here, you know what? We'll just keep it rolling. We're gonna throw some grease on it real quick. Believe me, man, you could ask my pops. I love my grease. There it is. We're gonna slide it back. Oh, hold on, fellas. One more time. Just for anything that I knock loose with that thing. Man, I want more grease than that, y'all. Let's be honest, man. I want these things to be super greased.
Barely.
I mean, you can't go wrong. You want your brakes to work optimal. And then you just got to make sure that it pops over like that. And make sure it's all the way around. So it seals off. It keeps that debris out of there. See? Look at that. Look at that, boy. That thing is nice. Got to do a little quick cleaning. Now we're gonna get this rotor out here. I kept this box for a reason. So here it is, man. Let me rip it open. I'm excited like a kid on Christmas Eve. Wow. All right. So if you notice, I took my gloves off, man. That's for a reason. I don't want this brake part cleaner soaking into the top of my skin. I know it dissipates fast, but still, if it gets on that glove and soaks into your skin, it can irritate it. So here we go, man. Just want to give it a good spray down. Any of that packing oil, anything like that, give it a second to drip dry. We're gonna slap it on, and man, we are going with it. We're going back with it now. Now, one thing to note, man, if you don't remember how your clips go, Just don't take them off your old pads until you put them on your new ones. And like I said in the unboxing video, man, they give you nice stainless ones, and they give you plenty of them. That's a good thing. They do give you plenty. And then I use my lubricant. I put it across the whole back of the pad and on the ears here. And then I'll put a little bit right here and right here on both sides. And then that'll be that, man. You just seen that I did the slide pin, so that's good. So we're gonna bolt it all back up, man. I'll give you one more shot once I bolt it all back up and what it looks like. And then we're gonna get to the other side, and all I'm gonna do is show you when I take the rotor off. And when I'm done with that, we'll jump to the back side. This video is already starting to become long enough, but man, I have to show you these things because we're doing it all. Here we go, fellas, it's all back together. So I just want to give you this quick shot. I'm just gonna breeze through the other side. Like I stated, man, this video is getting kind of long, but I will show you taking the rotor off so you can see that there's no washers behind it, and then we'll jump to the back. We're at that point, man. We're on the other side. Like I stated, I was gonna show y'all taking the rotor off so you can see that there's no washers behind it. Now with the other side, if you also remember, that's the side I did the wheel bearing on. This side I did not. Here we go. See, no washers, man. No marks on the back of the rotor where there was any washers. So we're gonna finish this video up with the rear wheel. That's what we've all been waiting on. So I'll get back with y'all here in a second. Here it is, man. Both sides done. New rotor, new ceramic pads. I think it looks fantastic. So I want to go over a quick little overview of what to do if you're doing your front pads, and I also didn't show you. So your brake bolts here for your caliper are 32 foot-pounds. Always, all 4 of them. And then your 13/16 back here is 130 foot-pounds on the front and 120 on the back. So it's a little more on the front because the momentum of the truck is always going forward, which puts more strain on your front brakes. If you also notice, the front pads are bigger than the rear pads. So I'm gonna get the back of the truck jacked up. We're gonna get this rolling with that, see if there's washers behind that rotor. Made it to the back, man. Here we go. So like I stated earlier, the front caliper bolts, not the bracket, but the caliper bolts are 1/2 inch. On the back, they're 10 millimeter. I don't know why Dodge does that, but they do. So like always, man, I take the bottom one off first so it can hang from the top. The thing's pretty tight. Take that one out. We're gonna clean that up, man. We're gonna do the same process. Now here's the top one. Here we go. Here we go. Top one. Now remember, with these rear calipers, they hook in the top and they come out of the bottom. So you have to get them off the bottom like that. Let me fight it here. And see, they hook. You see that hook right there? So they hook up in there like that and then slide down. So don't try to just stick it up there like that. That doesn't work. Well, man, I got my bracket off. I already got my little wheel out, cleaned my bracket up, cleaned up some of this. I still got to pull my pins out and clean it, which I'll do that in a minute. So here's the moment we've been waiting for, is pulling off the rotor and seeing if there's washers behind it. So there it is, man. I had to beat that thing to that point right there, dude. This thing was a pain to get off. But look, no washers. If you look behind the rotor, there's no mark where there was washers. So, I mean, I don't know what the purpose is for them on the other side. I'm not going back with them. And then one more thing, guys. So, I jumped the gun, man, with that other rotor in that short video I put out this morning. And look, this rotor has a cut in it just like that other one. So, I'm going to grab the other one. I'm going to put it on. We're gonna do the other side real quick. So I gotta show y'all this real quick. This is your adjustment for your emergency brake. It's just this little plug right here is what you pull off the back side. Now this is the driver's side, it's on the top. Here's your adjustment screw right here. You'll put your screwdriver through there and adjust it down to get your rotor off, and so on and so forth. Now I wanted to note that The one on the passenger side is on the bottom, right? So it would be down here on this side of the rotor, and the driver's side would be on that side, my bad. All right, guys, now before I wrap this up, man, we're on the driver's side of the truck. That slot right there is your adjustment for your emergency brake. There's your adjustment screw, if you can see it right there. Let me see if I can, right here. That's your adjustment screw. You can get through it through the back. And it's just a little thing like this, and that's what it looks like that's covering it up. You just pull it out, get your screwdriver in there, and you can adjust it to get your rotor off. And one more thing before I let y'all go, man. I want to show you this rotor. This is the one that had the washers in it. You can see where the washers were sitting, which I'm not going back with it. The other side didn't have it. I'm not doing it on this side. So a little sidebar real quick. We'll get back to that rear brake, man. First, it's a couple of hours later. Me and my dad, they'll get something to eat. We had some things we had to do. But jumping right back into this. So a common problem is when you're doing all four brakes and you're pressing all four of them calipers back in, is your reservoir will get full or over full. So the way I deal with that is I just get me a syringe and I just suck it out. So I know I still have one more caliper to press in all the way. So I feel like, and this is the way I always do it, is I suck out just enough, right? And then once I get everything put back together, I get the truck started up, get the brake pedal back to where it needs to be, then I check. And if I need to add, if I need to add or take out, then that's what I do. So at that point right there, if you can see it moving in here, let's see. I'm to right here. That's where I'm at. So I'm good. I can get that other caliper pressed in, and then we'll go from there. If I need to take some more out, we'll use the handy dandy syringe. If not, I'll get some and we'll add. With that master cylinder, or the master cylinder brake fluid being too high, problem solved. Here we go, man. This is the driver's side. I just want to give y'all a shot what it looks like back together. Got my new pads. And it's nice and clean, man. I use my brake cleaner to clean everything. I lubed up my pins. Now we're gonna jump over here to the passenger side. And this was the bad side. So I still gotta get my brake clean off all my pads here. We're gonna clean off the rotor. We're gonna put it on. I'm gonna show y'all, I'm gonna pull these slide pins out of here, right here. And then I'll show y'all how to get them out, clean them up, grease them up, slide them back in, make sure they're right. And then we'll put it back together. One more thing, man. Just like I told y'all about that emergency brake adjustment, it's here on the bottom side on the passenger side. Just like I showed y'all, that nut's right in here. That's your star that you turn off. So I wanted to give y'all a shot of that to show you that it's on the bottom on the passenger side. And then I already showed you it was on the top on the driver's side. Let's pull these pins out. So you know they slide back and forth. So if this is brittle, be real careful. The way you want to do it is you want to pull it back. You see that ridge right there? It pops down in that groove against that ridge. And then you just want to push it forward, right? Until it comes out. You want to slide it out, inspect it. Be careful right there, pop it out. There it is, man. We got it all cleaned up, man. That black stuff comes off. These pins are in real good shape, just like the front ones were. So we're going to go back with it. This is how I do it. All right, once you get it on there, I like to hold it and twist it and push, right? And once it pops past that ridge, which it can be a pain. Oh, we're almost there. There it goes. And just push it through, right? And then push it back a little bit and then push it through. So you want it to snap back on there all the way. You want it to go around just like that. At that point, slide it back and forth. Make sure you're good and free like that. You're home free, man. So y'all know I do all the pads, man. It's the same on the rear as it is in the front. I do inside here. Now here's the important part, man. So on the front, you actually do the caliper bracket that it slides in. On these, on the rear ones, clip your little tabs in first. You want your lubricant on this metal piece. You don't want it on the caliper right there. You want this thing to clip on there and be on there good. that's what it looks like when it's in there. If you need a shot what a finished product looks like. Also, your clips stick out for your caliper to set on. So I'm gonna set this back on here and we're gonna finish it up, man. Once you do that, squeeze your pads together. Boom, just like that. Man, I'm gonna bolt it all back up and then we're gonna end it. Good morning, everybody. So check it out, dude. It's the next day. Man, that rear brake. Man, dude, we went through some. So we gotta talk about this, man. We're gonna do this test ride real quick and get this seatbelt on. You know how I do it, safety first. So man, we went through the whole everything, dude. The whole process, take it off, put it on, clean the slider pins, everything. So we need to talk about them washers on that rotor. So let me roll these windows down so you can hear. I mean, this thing is nice, dude. It stops nice now. I mean, there's no shake, there's no nothing, man. It's beautiful. But anyway, I was trying to I'm just gonna give it a sec. Y'all can listen. I'm about to hit the brakes right now. So there it is, man. I mean, this is nice as that. Now, we are gonna talk about these washers before we end this video while we're cruising. So man, I took them off. And earlier in the video, which would have been yesterday, I told y'all I wasn't gonna put them on. That I wasn't going to, they wasn't on any other wheel. So let me correct myself with that. So this morning, I got up on my way home yesterday, dude, that pad rubbed the whole time, dude. I mean, like I didn't even change the brakes out, nothing. So I was like, man, when I got home, you could smell the brake pads real strong. So I knew something wasn't right, man. So I started thinking about it, and I started thinking about it. And I said, man, the only thing that I did different, that I didn't do, or that was, you know, that I changed, was the fact that I took them washers off of there. So I got up this morning, man. I took the wheels off. I put the washers back on. And then I put everything back together, man. It was still tight, and I was worried about it. But once I got everything bolted back up, man, here it is. It's great. It's not rubbing anymore. So I'm here to tell you, man, I learned a couple of things yesterday that I didn't know, but I guarantee you I know now. So the first thing is that the machine cuts and the rotors are meant to be there. I guess it's for balancing, I'm not really sure. And if you do take your wheel and rotor off and there's washers behind it, I will stand behind the fact that you need to put them back. It's some spacing with that rotor and the emergency brakes. I mean, up until now, I couldn't even hardly drive the truck. I drove it home. I was worried about it. I put them back on there this morning, tightened everything back up, checked everything. Now we're golden. So with all that, man, keep living the dream, doing your thing. I appreciate y'all watching me, and I'm rolling out.